Hi, I'm Teresa Lisum. Welcome to Evolving Women, and welcome to my beautiful guest co-host, Diane Amelia Read. We're so glad
Hey,
you're here. Thank
my
you.
pleasure.
I'm evolving, you're evolving, we're all evolving. So let's help each other to evolve and let's evolve together. Our intention here is to fill the world with uplifting messages, new perspectives, tools, resources, wellness ideas, mindset, maybe a shift in your beliefs. And we're here to give you permission to be your best self and live your best life. So let's get going. Do you know who your tribe is? Well, we're going to explore that topic. Your tribe, your community, the people you can tap into that can help you go through your life in a better way. So we're going to just kind of have a conversation around new friends or the friends that we have. We had a previous conversation around surrounding yourself with the right type of people, which would be who would be your tribe. So we're going to explore that a little bit more. You can check out that episode if you want to hear more about that. But I remember a time, and Diane, did you have a time in your life where you didn't have a tribe? Like I
Well,
know, go ahead.
I am in that right now.
Mm,
We've moved, and this is an interesting thing for me, and an interesting thing to highlight. There's so much caution around meeting people online.
mm,
But as my business, I have an online wellness community for women, and many of the women in there I have never met in person.
mhm,
But when we moved last 7 months ago from Massachusetts to Mexico, my in-person opportunities for getting together with my in-person friends
mhm.
gone.
Yep.
Gone, and I am here making new friends. But the thing that has been a comfort and a consistency for me is my virtual community.
Mhm.
So I've never met them. I love every single one of them because we have connected in meaningful ways around topics of health and wellness that are important to us.
Mhm.
And I'm making new friends here. Goodness knows I am trying to learn Spanish. Um, but in the process of that, I'm not going to have instant best friends, from somebody I meet one time here. These relationships will need to evolve the longer we're here. But
Yeah,
meanwhile, I got my online tribe
I'm
that
right. Yeah.
give me uh, they buoy me
Yeah.
and help me feel like, yeah, I can go out there and meet some new people here.
Mhm.
So yeah, long answer to your question, but
No,
it's very relevant for me right now.
I'm right there with you. I mean, I moved a little over 2 years ago, so I'm not quite as recent as you. And so I'm in a community where I do have some people, some community, some tribe, but it's been slow. It's been a process. And I think as adults in general, outside of work, I mean, if you're in a work situation, you kind of have friendships within that environment, whether they're friends outside of that environment, everybody's different. But um, yeah, like I had to depend on my online people as well. I have met so
Yeah.
many wonderful people all over the world, all over the country that I love them just like I do my in-person friends. And exactly like you think. I've been supported and I look forward to chatting with them and we connect on Zoom. So if you're not into the online world, that's fine, but don't poo-poo it neither, because there are actual solid relationships that are happening and friendships that are creating that we're
Well, for
creating.
heaven's sakes, that's how we met.
That's exactly how we met. And I
Yeah.
have many people that I talk to on a regular basis. We've never met in person. And
Yeah.
we've done some collaborations. The few times that I did meet actual people in person after I took my coaching training and we got to meet in person at a live event. It was like, oh my God, like we were so thrilled to actually hug, but they looked a little different because they weren't in the little rectangle. And
Yeah. They
it was
had
hard
whole
to
bodies
recognize
attached.
them. Yeah. There was a wholeness to them, but it was just funny. But we were all thrilled to meet each other in person. But we were just as connected and had friendships just as solid as if we had been having lunch every week in
Right.
person at the local coffee shop. So,
So my question to you, when you relocated and you were meeting people intentionally to create community in your new place, what did you do? How did you approach that?
I went to different things. Like I looked on Facebook, and tried to find what was going on in the community and went to those little events or shows or whatever. And I actually did say, like, I'm just new here. I'm looking for friends, just like a kid. I mean, I
Will you play
literally
with
did
me?
that. Yeah, like I literally did that. And it was a slow process. I was so blessed to meet one person really early on. She was at a vendor event and she had essential oils and crystals and a massage, chair. And it's like, ooh, there's my person. So she had what I loved and I came from, I love all
Yeah.
that stuff. So I just zeroed in right on her, started up a conversation, and we talked like an hour. And then we've been friends ever since. And then she introduced me to other people. But I've also done some volunteer work in the community on purpose, with the purpose of meeting other people.
Yeah.
So you might think there's not a lot of opportunities, but you have to put in some effort and put yourself out there and put yourself in some uncomfortable situations, get out of the comfort zone and go in knowing that you are looking for people. How about you?
Oh, so I just want to back up a little bit.
Mhm.
That I'm in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, as you know, and a guy that I went to high school lives here too. And he came here, gosh, 3 years ago. But something he loves to do and is getting back to now that he's sort of transitioning into retirement, he
Mhm.
loves to play tennis.
Mm,
And bless his jam, not mine. But I've had the good fortune of meeting people through him
mhm.
that he only knows from playing tennis, and they're from all over the place, from France and the UK and the US and
Wow,
Canada.
yeah.
And so just as with you, the one connection you made blossomed into additional friendships.
Mhm.
And there's a little bit of risk involved. Like
Yes,
my
yes.
my friend turned 65 2 weeks ago, and I went to his party and got to meet a bunch of his tennis friends
Mhm.
and other friends. He's a teacher, so he's got some other people that he's met because they all teach online.
Mm.
And this one woman in particular, her hair was spiky, and we were talking haircuts, and
Yep,
um,
yep.
I took a deep breath. I mean, it felt like I was asking her out on a date or something. I was all nervous, but it's like I messaged her. She said, "Let's connect on WhatsApp."
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
doors open. Hey,
Yep.
you want to meet up for coffee? And she's like, "Yeah." And so, as gregarious as I am, it still feels like
Yeah.
a little bit of a choke
Yes, yes.
to make that step into connecting. What if she doesn't want to play with me?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and
Yes.
I can put all the things in my head. Oh, she's so busy, and
Mhm.
we're 30 years between us, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
I
I'm
did
right
it,
there
and we're
with
gonna
you.
have coffee.
Yeah. And if you don't ask, you don't know. And if she says no, then maybe try another time, but you
Right.
kind of look for those doors, I guess, to put your foot in. And if they seem like they're open, then all the better.
Yeah.
Like I do have one lady that I loved, I fell in love with. We had breakfast once and I keep reaching out to her to try to do other things, but she's like got a really full life and I'm just not part of her friendship circle. And so I can't quite get in there, but I'm going to keep reaching out to her, even though she keeps turning me down because I really like her and I like the life she's leading and I like how
Yeah.
active she is and the things that she does. So I'm just hoping sometime we will reconnect and, maybe really move into a friendship. But you're right, there is risk, there is vulnerability, just as
Mhm.
if you are a younger person, a teenager or a young kid or whatever. Um, and I think as adults, it is harder to make friends. I think I already mentioned that. And we do have to be open and be watching for those doors and don't be afraid to ask.
It occurs to me that if the woman you're talking about, um, you have shared interests,
Yes, we do.
then maybe you can tap into, like, if there's a networking group she's part of, because if she's in it, there are going to be other cool people there too.
Mhm.
Or I don't know, maybe you have a shared hobby, maybe it's an essential oil kind of thing. And
Mhm.
so maybe she's got a group or community that she's affiliated with that you could participate in too, because not only would you then get to theoretically spend a little more time in her airspace, you get to meet all these other fabulous people too.
Right, right. Because if that person's a fabulous person, I just assume and just trust that they're already, like you said, connected to other fabulous people.
Yeah.
So once you find one, then there's more in her realm. I did, and tell me if you've done this. I have done a few community things for myself where I'm bringing women together. So I create, we did a tea party last year, hoping to do it again and open it up to the public and invited women in to a little event. Me and this friend that I met early on at the vendor event, we have a little women's circle that we host once a month. So I'm meeting people that way. So like you can create your own group and invite people,
So
if you're,
say more about your monthly group. Like, is there a topic of conversation, or is there a theme for the month, or
yeah, yeah.
what happens once you gather?
Well, we're all about uplifting women. So of course I depend on my friend who introduced me to another friend. So the three of us kind of host it and we get together in advance and decide on a topic and we have a little
Okay.
format. And of course they invited their friends because I didn't really have any in the area. So I'm meeting their people that they, know in the community. So we've been doing it 2 years now and it's still rolling. We still have people coming. It has been a slow process, but I've definitely met people that way. So if you're bold enough to start your own tribe, your own community, that's definitely one way of meeting people and
Oh, I love
creating
that.
your own. Yeah. So, but you have to be in the right mindset that you are able to do that. So that's a little scary to, put yourself out there and invite people to your community or whatever you're doing. But that's totally doable if you can't find one. And posting on Facebook is an easy way of doing that. Um, but yeah, the comfort zone is huge. Like you said, even though it's uncomfortable, we still do it, knowing it's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's okay to be uncomfortable and take that risk and take that chance. And if it works out, fabulous. And if it doesn't, you try again or just keep on going.
Keep
Because
going.
if we don't, we run the risk of contracting and isolating and that's not a happy situation.
It's not a happy situation, and I was listening about and reading about blue zone communities,
Mm-hmm.
where there's an extraordinary number of people who are living health health healthily,
Healthily,
um,
yeah.
into their hundreds. And one of the key components is community, and
Mm-hmm. That's huge.
being in community, being valued in community. And if we can start that process now,
Yeah.
creating
Yeah.
community, um, you know, let's see, math. I'm going to be 66 in January, so what? That's like 39, or wait, no,
Don't ask me. I'm not a math person
I don't
either.
know, but that gives me 3 decades to hit
Right.
100
Right.
and create community.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can have a hella community by then, right?
Heck yeah. And I've seen family members that I knew personally, they got to a certain age and they did start shrinking down the people that they were connected with. And like I said, that isolation, and they didn't tap into their tribe, and they
Yeah,
didn't go play. And it was really sad because I could see the decline physically, mentally, in
yeah,
terms of their mood and their attitude. It was just not a healthy thing.
yeah,
We're people, we're humans. We need
yeah.
that contact,
We
you
do.
know?
We
Yeah.
absolutely do, and it's primal because. P.S. I down here I counted on my fingers. It's 34 years until I'm 100. Um, we want to be in the pod
Yeah.
because that's where safety happens.
Mm,
If you get out from the pod and the lion can pick you out,
good point.
so it's a very, the wish for acceptance and connection and community is very primal for us.
Mhm.
It's also super fun,
It
if
is
you're
super fun.
intentional with your tribe and, as you say, pick really good ones.
Yeah, and in some other ways, because I know sometimes in my life as a young mom and like out of high school, I don't know, that was a weird time too. Like all my friends that were in high school like disappeared. And so like there's definitely pockets in my life where I did not have a tribe and I didn't know where to find one. I knew I needed one, but I didn't know how to tap into any group.
Mm,
And at that point in time, I was not able to create a group for myself because I was not confident enough and I wasn't, in the mindset where I felt I could do that. So some options, if we want to talk about some options, if somebody watching or listening is in that place where they don't know where to look for their tribe. Like the first thing I'm going to suggest is writing down, like, what do you value? Like, who do you want to hang with? Like, kind of create a wish list of these are the types of people I would love to hang with. These are their interests. I want them to, like, I want people to be fun. I like people to have a nice, light, fun energy. I like people that are on the learning path, they're always learning. So I know different types of people that I'm looking for. So maybe that's a good starting point, is to create that for yourself. And then think about, like we said, what lit you up as a kid? What did you like to do as a child? Revisit that. And
yeah, and quality wise, that doesn't mean, I'm too old to do cartwheels.
oh,
But did you like doing outdoor things? Did you like
yes. Yeah,
problem
right.
solving things?
Mhm.
Did you like, decorating your Barbie dream house?
Yeah.
What were the qualities of, not just the people you hope to hang with, but the qualities of the things you loved as a kid to do?
Mhm.
How can was it in community?
Mhm.
What did you love?
If, like, for example, if I loved doing artsy stuff when I was a kid, creating, doing things with my hands. So in my case, I could look for classes to take. Maybe I always wanted to learn to paint or to learn how to take better photos or to learn to put my hands in clay and see what I could do. So think about what you might have done in the past or what you always wanted to do, and maybe look for classes. I think most communities have like an adult education
Mhm.
resource that you can tap into. Online is a huge resource. YouTube's got everything on it if you want to learn
If
stuff.
you want to learn how to do brain surgery, I'm pretty
Right.
sure you can
Oh,
pick it up.
that's a little scary.
That's a little scary, but I bet it's out there on YouTube.
Right. Like, so think about what you like to do. Do you like music? Did you always want to pick up an instrument? Lots of ways of learning instruments. And so those learning that will expose you to new people and other ways of connecting with other people that like the same things you like.
You're just sparking a thought in my mind. Community theater is a
Mm,
great way to meet people, and you don't have to be on stage. You can be the one painting sets, you can be the one
yeah,
designing programs or doing makeup or whatever it is. Um,
that's a
that
good
and
one.
theater people are so fun.
Yeah, they do seem really fun, and they do really have their community of
Yes,
people that are part
absolutely.
of that whole production process. But yeah, you're right. All kinds of skills and talents would be needed there.
Mhm.
Volunteering, look around where you might want to volunteer in your community. Um, get a
Yeah, and
part-time job someplace where you're going to be interacting with people. It doesn't have to be permanent. It can be a temporary thing, but
yeah.
that's a way of finding other people.
And also just finding other people and bringing new experiences into your life that might, maybe you don't have any idea about, what you're intentionally trying to attract in terms of community. Just go out in the world and
Mm,
experience
yeah,
and
new experiences.
see
Love
what
that.
comes to you.
One of my daughters, I have three daughters, my middle one year, this was years ago, she decided she was going to do one new thing. I think it was every week for a year. So every week she had to come up with something new, something to go to,
Oh, I
something
love
new to
that.
try, something. It was one, that was her goal. And she succeeded. She made it a whole year doing that. So that's an idea. I remember, I think this guy wrote a book and I don't know his name, but I saw him speak somewhere. And his goal was to meet one new person every single day for a year. So he went out with the intention of meeting people, and he would tell them, "Hey, my mission is to meet one new person a day." And if they were open to it, then he would have a conversation, strike up like a little mini friendship right there on the spot. And I believe he did write a book about that, but don't ask me his name because I don't have any recollection of that.
Oh,
But that's
that's
another fun way.
well, and for somebody who yeah, super fun. And it's a framework. So for
Mm,
somebody who wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable just saying hello, you can say, "Hello, I'm doing this project."
exactly.
And then
Exactly.
it's a purposeful meeting as
Well,
opposed to, "Will you be my friend?"
right. Right. And like I've been interviewing some women and asking them questions for market research, and that's how I start. Like I'm looking for women, da 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 da, who are open to answering some questions. Even something just simplifying that. You don't have to say market research, but I'm new to the area and I'm looking for places to volunteer. That would be an open, you're opening a door to some further conversations with people.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Oh,
I
that's
like that.
great.
So you're giving, like I said, you're giving yourself a reason to talk to somebody, not just randomly talking. Although there are people out there that do just do that. I really admire those people. They're just out there wandering around. They'll talk to anybody.
Yeah, oh, that's
Sometimes I can, sometimes I am not in the mood, but
well,
this
true.
ties in with our previous conversation, a previous episode where we were talking about you're the sum total of the people you hang around with. So you want to choose positive people. So whatever new experiences you put yourself into, decide, is this a positive influence for me? Is this, something that that's going to move me forward in a really good direction? Or it's just not a good fit, like, so you have to make those intentional choices, I think, during
Yeah,
the
and
whole process.
to just add to that, that's a great place to start testing your gut.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's my gut feel about this new friend?
Love that.
And trust that.
Yeah, I love that. Paying attention to our intuition and what our body is picking up. because our body is more receptive and open to other people's energy than sometimes our mind is, our brain is,
Certainly.
because we can talk ourselves into anything or out of anything.
Right.
So our point being, to wrap this up, is we need community, and it's more beneficial to find a community that fits you and your values and your passions and your interests, and a community, a tribe that's going to uplift you and expand your life.
That's
Correct?
it.
That's what we're all looking
That's it.
for. And so I'm going to offer you, if you have anything else to say, and then I'm going to wrap this up. Do you have any more
No,
thoughts?
I think you summed it up beautifully. We've given ways to think about creating community, tapping into things that we love, which is a fun exercise in and of itself.
Mhm. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we've given you lots to think about. If it doesn't work the first time, then pivot, change. You always have the opportunity to restart and try something different, or keep moving forward on the path. Like if somebody dismisses you, then hey, then find somebody else. Just keep on going, because it's only for everybody's highest good to pick beautiful, wonderful people, and it's good for our mental health and our wellness.
And to kind of tie in the Darren Hardy thing
Yes,
with the
please,
compound effect, all
please.
those little efforts will add up to something good.
Yes, they certainly will. So I'm going to offer an action step, a call to action for those people that are listening. The first thing I would recommend is just start listing out your ideas. Just brainstorm dump. Like, what do you love? Who would you like to hang with? What's passions? What have you done in the past that you'd like to come back around to? What do you want to learn? So start with a list. That's going to be easy for you to do. And then take action on one of them. Pick one. And how can you use that to go find your tribe? And feel free to
That's
leave in the
great.
comments if you're successful, and keep on going until you are successful. I think it's too important to give up on it.
That's great.
So thank you so much, Diane Amelia. I appreciate you being here. Love this conversation. And
Always good to chat with you.
I love that everybody was here listening. I hope we offered you something of value. Follow me on Facebook, on YouTube. I'm going to leave information about Diane Amelia where you can connect with her. Please do so. She's doing awesome stuff out there in the world as well. And thank you so much. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.